Hello viewers, this is Aarti Ghargi and you're watching HW News. There's a saying in Marathi, Jaat kadhi jaat nahi. Caste never goes away. While this is relevant even today in societal construct, it is also true to political construct as politics is a part of the society. And certainly it plays a very important role when it comes to elections. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who was in Karnataka's Kolar on Sunday as part of party's election campaign, demanded a caste census. He dared the government to release the caste census undertaken in 2011. He also demanded that the government should do away with the 50% cap on reservation. Now, in the past, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, RJD, had demanded for the nationwide caste census. The demand prominently came from Bihar as the state is home to political leaders who rose to power from the Mandal-Kamandal politics. But it is probably for the first time that Rahul Gandhi, Congress leader, has prominently made the demand for releasing the caste census. And it assumes much importance, especially because the upcoming Karnataka Assembly elections are just few days away. Let us discuss about this in today's video. Why is caste census demand being made by the Congress? Why now? And what are the impact of the demand on Karnataka? But before that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, like this video and comment below it. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, then follow our page and share this video. For the first time after being disqualified from Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi arrived in Kolar on Sunday. The choice of the location was interesting. It was in Kolar where Rahul Gandhi in 2019 made the statement that led to defamation case against him and eventually cost him his parliamentary membership. Speaking at the Kolar event, Rahul Gandhi demanded that the Modi government should release the caste census. He stated that the people of the country should be informed about the percentages of OBCs, Dalits and Adivasis in the country. He said, and I quote, "Prime Minister, you talk of OBCs. Make that data public. Let the nation know how many OBCs, Dalits and tribals are there in the country." Rahul Gandhi further stated that if the Prime Minister is genuinely concerned about the welfare of the OBCs and SC/STs, he should release the data and implement reservations based on the caste census. Otherwise, it would be akin to the Prime Minister insulting the OBCs, Dalits and Adivasi people. Now, before moving further, listen in to what Rahul Gandhi said at the Kolar rally.
अच्छा, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने एक और सवाल उठाया। उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने ओबीसी का अपमान किया है। सबसे पहले मैं किसी का अपमान कभी नहीं करता हूं, मगर दूसरा सवाल और बड़ा सवाल, अगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ओबीसी की बात करते हैं तो फिर सचमुच में हम ओबीसी की बात क्यों ना करें। और ओबीसी वर्ग के सामने दो तीन बड़े मुद्दे हैं, देश के मुद्दे हैं, उनके बारे में आपको थोड़ा सा बताना चाहता हूं। अगर हम चाहते हैं कि ओबीसी को ताकत दी जाए, राजनीतिक ताकत, आर्थिक ताकत, तो सबसे पहला कदम हमें यह मालूम होना चाहिए कि हिंदुस्तान में ओबीसी हैं कितना। अगर हम ओबीसी को ताकत देना चाहते हैं तो पहले यह समझना होगा कि देश में ओबीसी कितने हैं, दलित कितने हैं, आदिवासी कितने हैं। अगर हमें यही नहीं मालूम तो हम ओबीसी को शक्ति, ओबीसी को ताकत कैसे दे सकते हैं। जब हमारी सरकार थी, यूपीए की सरकार थी, 2011 में हमने सेंसस किया था और पहली बार हमने सेंसस में सवाल पूछा था कि भैया आप ओबीसी हो, आप दलित हो, आप आदिवासी हो, आपकी जात क्या है। और पूरा का पूरा डेटा हिंदुस्तान की सरकार के पास है, मगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने डेटा पब्लिक नहीं किया है, छुपाया हुआ है। दिल्ली की सरकार को मालूम है ओबीसी की कितनी आबादी है हिंदुस्तान। अगर दिल्ली की सरकार किसी को बता नहीं रहे तो मोदी जी, अगर आप सचमुच में ओबीसी को ताकत देना चाहते हो, आर्थिक ताकत देना चाहते हो, राजनीतिक ताकत देना चाहते हो तो सेंसस में जो डेटा है उसको पहले आप पब्लिक कीजिए कि देश को पता लगे कि इस देश में ओबीसी वर्ग कितना है, दलित वर्ग कितना है, आदिवासी वर्ग कितना है। अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ये काम करके दिखा दी।
Now, the Congress leader also asked the Modi government to remove the current 50% reservation cap if he is really concerned about the OBCs, SC and STs. He also pointed out that only 7% of the secretaries in the central government are from Dalit, tribal and OBC communities. He highlighted the need for representation from all the communities in the government positions, stating that secretaries are the backbone of Government of India. Now, shortly after his speech, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge also wrote a letter to Prime Minister Modi asking him for a comprehensive, up-to-date caste census. In the letter, Kharge said the UPA government has conducted a socio-economic caste census during 2011-12, but the data could not be published even though Congress and other MPs demanded its release after your government came to power in May 2014. He said in the letter, and I quote, "In the absence of an updated caste census, I am afraid a reliable database so very essential for meaningful social justice and empowerment programs, particularly for OBCs, is incomplete. This census is the responsibility of the union government." He also said that a population census was to be conducted in 2021, but it has still not been conducted yet. Well, the demand for a caste census is in fact not new. In the last few years, several political parties have raised the demand for conducting one. Earlier, Maharashtra's MVA government, Uddhav Thackeray-led Shiv Sena, NCP, Congress, Nitish Kumar's JDU, Lalu Prasad Yadav's RJD and MK Stalin's DMK had raised the demand for a caste census. The demand was made on the backdrop of announcements of OBC and backward classes reservation in panchayat elections, well as in government jobs. The Maharashtra government had moved to the Supreme Court with the demand, but the centre had told the court in 2021 that the caste tribe data from the socio-economic and caste census 2011 is flawed and is not usable. Well, the point is, caste census intricately is linked to the reservation issue. Beyond politics, it has repercussions on the welfare programs implemented by the Indian government. The directive principles of state policy enshrined in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution reflects that India is a welfare state. Many of government's welfare schemes are based on the caste identity. For example, reservations in government jobs and educational institutions are given on the basis of caste identity. So the question is, what are the reservation percentages provided in India? In the judgment on Indira Sahni case in 1992, a 9-judge bench decisively let down several landmark propositions such as 50% ceiling in reservation. Now, quotas for the scheduled castes, also called Dalits, is 15% in the country, whereas for the scheduled tribes it is 7.5%. These are based on caste and tribal identities. The highest reservation mandate for the other backward classes is at 27%. But here is the catch. While the percentage reservation given to the SCs and STs is proportionate to their population, which is counted every 10 years in the census, the reservation for OBCs is not based on their share in the population of India. OBC quota was fixed at 27% as it was the available space to keep the reservation cap at 50%. Thus, opposition parties are now demanding a caste census to ascertain the exact number of population under each caste so that the government can form better welfare policies for each category. So now the next question is, was caste census conducted in India before this or not? The last published caste census was conducted in India way back in 1931. In 1941, the British did conduct their last population census and it also did collect caste data, but they never published it. After independence, census 1951, the government collected and published caste data of only SCs and STs. Now, this was followed for successive caste census until 2011. The Manmohan Singh government decided to collect caste data in census 2011 as part of the socio-economic caste census, that is SECC, but the data was again never released. Now, the absence of fresh caste census data means that the caste estimates of 1931 are being projected for formulating welfare policies in the country. But while the central government has kept mum on the issue, states like Bihar have already begun the process of conducting their own caste census. Now, the next question is, what does this demand of caste census means for Karnataka, where elections are due next month? The demand for caste census in Karnataka comes at a time when the state BJP government has scrapped a separate quota for Muslims and increased the reservation given to Lingayat and Vokaliga communities. The 4% reservation for Muslims under the OBC quota was scrapped and distributed equally among the Vokaliga and Lingayat communities. The two communities have long held the dominance and influence over many key constituencies in the state. The Muslim community will now be added to the EWS list and it will be able to claim reservation as per the EWS criterion. But interesting part is, like Bihar, Karnataka has already conducted a caste census. But it was way back in 2015 when Siddaramaiah was Chief Minister. Karnataka ordered a social and educational survey in 2014. The survey was being conducted to enable the state government to decide reservation and quotas in the OBC category. The survey was conducted in April and May of 2015, reportedly by a total of 1.6 lakh personnel, with 1.3 crore households in Karnataka that were surveyed. In April 2016, the Karnataka State Backward Classes Commission chairperson said the report was already in its final stages. However, later, due to some issues, the report was never submitted. However, in 2018, News 18 portal published a report on caste census documents seen by it. According to it, the scheduled caste account for 19.5% in the state, Muslims made up to 16% in the state, Lingayats 14% and Vokaligas 11%. OBCs made up to 20%, out of which Kurubas alone were 7%. But there is no official confirmation on this data. However, in the context of Congress party, this is the strongest ever pitch of Rahul Gandhi for the caste census. His slogan, Jitni Abadi, Utna Haq, has indicated that Congress is trying to reclaim the political space it had ceded to regional parties that sprouted and were strengthened on the back of caste politics. There have also been talks that the caste politics could counter BJP's Hindutva pitch. But again, as I say, one has to see how much Congress now keeps at it and how much it benefits Congress. Well, share your views on this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss any update from our side. Thank you so much.